6 thumbs up already. We haven't even started. Holy cow. Hello. How's that sound? Good? We got a new filter in the mail. I don't know if you like it or not. I love it. Takes all the guesswork out of this thing. Welcome everyone to our Saturday edition of our Sunday live stream. We have a whole bunch to talk to you about. Really excited. First things first, as always, tea. Tonight we are having our Bengal spice. Hey, Carolyn. Carolyn says hello. So our Bengal spice is brimming with cinnamon, ginger, cardamom, and cloves. This adventurous blend is our caffeine-free interpretation of chai. Good evening, Wendy. The poignant Indian brew traditionally made with black tea. So we are having a caffeine-free chive this evening. You said audio and video are out of sync. Maybe start it over again? I don't know. It looks good on my end. Everything's plugged in the way it's supposed to be. RGB says, hi Brian, Bengal Space is great. Sabrina says, hi everyone. Hello. Is audio and video out of sync for everybody else? Or is it just Jeremy who's behind in the times? Dadgummit, Jeremy. So, a little bit of some behind the scenes information with the channel. Good evening, my mother. She says video and audio seems good. Audio, video, good with both. Okay, well, let me give you some behind the scenes information really quick. As you can see, we have upgraded with our actual mic stand and we have our little filter. So that's great. The other thing I would like to tell you guys, if you have just clicked on this and you've never watched one of our live streams before and you're not sure if you're going to stick around or not because, man, you just wanted to click on it and see what would happen, let me ask you for a favor, and anyone else who is currently watching live. We are only 700 hours away from being monetized. And you have to hit 4,000 hours. Our hours have skyrocketed here over the past couple weeks. Good evening, Colleen. And so, if you are so inclined to help out our little channel, you can watch this entire live stream. And if 1 out of 2 people that are subscribers to this channel watch the entire live stream, we would be done. That would be it. We would be monetized, which is super cool. But I'm not doing this live stream for that. I'm doing it because we have a whole bunch of other things to talk about. And that is not the big announcement. That is just something I would like to throw out there for you. For your own personal information, edification, gratification, othercation, whatever you want to do with that information. But I know you guys have been, hey, Ricky. Ricky says, I will run some click noise later. Thank you, sir. You guys have been with us. Most of you in the live streams have been with us from pretty much the very beginning. We've only been around for less than a year, and I know how much you're vested in our success as a channel and as a little community. So I appreciate it. Jeremy says, does watching the live streams count toward hours? It certainly does, good sir. So it is one of the reasons we do the live streams, is because it does give us hours, and it gives us hours quickly. If 50 people watch an hour, then we get 50 hours. If I make a 12-minute video, hey, Brett says, greetings, flannel fam. If we make a 12-minute, highly edited video on whatever, building a chicken coop or, what we're doing with our pigs or anything else, and people watch half of it, that's fine. But 300 views at 6 minutes does not quite go as far as 30 or 40 people watching an hour. The homesteading channel with Brian McClellan says, hey y'all, what's up with the new mic? The other one seemed to be more than excellent. We could hear the clock with it. This is the same microphone, sir. Do you hear the clock? All this is a filter. This is just a PTA filter so that when I'm talking, it eliminates the P's and the T's. So it is the same mic that we were using before. It is a Shure MV88, I believe it is, but it plugs into my phone. The Canon that I have has the Shure big mic on it, and it works really well, but I have to hook the camera up and then the mic up to my computer, and the Wi-Fi has been squirrely with our computer. As you guys know, in the first couple episodes, first ever live streams we did, we had the thing just dropped like halfway through. It said, "Hey, I'm not getting enough signal, and I'm going to crash on you now," and it crashed. So Ricky says, perhaps suggest white noise listening. That works too, but I don't want you just to watch. I mean, you can just run as many of the videos over and over and again as you want to. There is something to be gotten out of the live streams, so you get a lot more of the behind the scenes information, kind of what's going on, in-depth details, announcements for things that are coming up in the very near future, which is what we're going to discuss tonight, among other things. So I even have notes for tonight because it's a big deal. Super, super excited about this evening. I'm going to Jeremy says I should do the whole live stream in an accent used for maple syrup videos. Now, funny story about the accent. I did not realize that I was actually channeling Sir David Attenborough when I did the voice. All I was thinking was of that soothing BBC, NPR voice. And one of our lovely subscribers said that after they watched our maple syrup video, they had David Attenborough suggested to them. So who knows? But big announcement. So yeah, or Bob Ross, Sabrina. Well, it's just a happy little accident. We didn't intend for our squash to grow out of the chicken poop, but you know, sometimes you get volunteers, and that's nice. I mean, I wouldn't have put it here as a plan, but now that it's here, this little life growing, I think that's neat. Anyways, big announcement is I got stung by a mosquito today. And it's February, guys. What the heck? How am I getting bit by mosquitoes in February? Through my shirt, too. I'm just kidding. That's not the actual announcement. Don't everybody panic. I think I told you guys last week that we were going to attempt a new segment coming up. This is not more white noise or me raking gravel or anything like that. It is a new thing we're going to offer. We are going to begin, and I wasn't sure if it was going to work because we had to order some more technical equipment, and we had to make sure the Wi-Fi would work, and there was a bunch of technical hoops we had to jump through to see if it would work. As many of you guys know, the other day I was interviewed by the Modern Yeoman. If you don't know who Sean is, the Modern Yeoman, he is amazing. He has a great channel called the Modern Yeoman, but I went over there and was interviewed by him about our side business and things like that. And about 150 people from his channel came over here. I'm hoping some people from here went there. Kind of a cross-network marketing kind of thing, I guess you could say. And it dawned on me that in the past year, we started a YouTube channel and we started a homestead. And of course, I ran around watching a whole bunch of videos. So before I bought pigs, I did a whole bunch of videos on pigs and chickens and eggs and compost and all kinds of stuff, and found a whole bunch of channels that I really enjoy. And these people are successful at whatever it is: gardening, animal husbandry, overall homesteading, handyman, do-it-yourself, repair stuff, and they have successful YouTube channels. And I thought, what makes them successful? And there are all kinds of videos out there about how to be successful on YouTube. There's all kinds of videos out there about how to be successful at gardening or homesteading or animal husbandry. There are no videos that I can find where people are interviewing those people, right, about their content, right, gardening, homesteading, whatever. Sorry, I'll stop saying right. I realized I've lapsed into a tick because I've gotten excited about what I'm talking about. And their successful YouTube channel. It's both, not just one, but both. And so we have interviewed already one person, and I believe it's about an hour long. I haven't finished the editing on it yet. And we are going to start a interview segment on homesteading, gardening, animal husbandry, plus YouTube. And we're going to try and peel back the curtain, if you will, on some of these people making these videos and ask them questions that I want answers to. I hope there's some that you want answers to too. So our very first interview is already in the bag. It hasn't been uploaded yet. I have some more editing to do, and that drops on Tuesday. So if you're, and I'm going to timestamp it as best I can to when we switch from talking about their gardening or their homesteading or their compost or whatever it is that they do that makes them their do-it-yourselfness. I have a list of people that I really want to interview, and I've been reaching out slowly to a few of them. I've gotten 2 yeses so far. And I think as the videos start to come out and I can send a link to somebody that says, hey, I'm not just some weirdo, I'm a weirdo who has interviewed somebody, that it might draw more people. This is going to do a lot for all of us. Jeremy says, let me guess, you interviewed your brother. I did. He is first, but I already have a second person lined up with nearly as many subscribers as my brother. And so once I get these 2 interviews done, yes, Carolyn, Justin Rhodes is somebody that I hope to someday interview. I will look at his abundance plus VEUD. No, copy and paste. Justin is so prolific, I have a hard time keeping up with all of this stuff. Copy. Okay. I do my best to take notes while we're talking, so about things that I would want to do later. So that's what I'm doing now. You'll forgive me if I do that. Paste. Okay. So, hello, Davis Family Life. It is good to see you. So we are, we're starting with my brother. He is the first interview. He should drop on Tuesday. We're going to do a dual premiere. He's going to be on with us, and this might come as a shock to some of you, but I actually learned a whole bunch about him and some of the different things that he's done, even why he started gardening in the first place. I think I was too young to remember why he started. He just always has. But so we get some of the behind the scenes, and then we get some of his tips and tricks on YouTube. So the homesteading channel with Brian McClellan says, what are the qualifications? Do you plan on interviewing people that use YouTube as their main income? Not necessarily, but that's part of it. I do want people who have at least become monetized, because to have a successful channel, and you can measure success in different ways, of course, but I think most people who do YouTube consider it, when you are monetized, to be successful. Now, I do want to interview my buddy Sean the Modern Yeoman, who I know most of you are familiar with, because I think he has a successful channel, and I'll tell you why. He has, I think, 3,500 subscribers. In the grand scheme of things, that's not a whole lot. But do you know how many people watch each one of his videos proportionally? I think he averages between 2,000 and 2,800 views per video, which means like 2 out of 3 people watch his videos. A lot of people with 50 or 60,000 subscribers don't get that many numbers consistently, right? So we have, his ratio is amazing for a number of people watching. So if you had 30,000 subscribers and 20,000 watched, you're doing really well. You can also have somebody that has a whole bunch of subscribers and they get very few views. So, hey, Homestead Family Reclaim, how are you? It's good to see you. So that's what we're going to do, and I think it will be interesting to all of us, not just myself. But you will get information on the people that you enjoy seeing on YouTube, and maybe some behind the scenes stuff, like I said. And then also what makes them successful in both basically life, right? I mean, if they're doing homesteading videos or homesteading or gardening or whatever, and they're putting it on the internet, they're probably successful at it. And how did they get successful in YouTube? And I'm sure everybody has a different story. So we're going to see what that produces. And in terms of our channel, having the opportunity to be with some people who have bigger channels than we will, hopefully, like what happened with the Modern Yeoman, we will get some people that will find our content interesting. I don't want to just gain subscribers. As you guys know, we call it the Flannel Fam. I really have connected with a great deal of you, I think personally, through this channel. I've learned a lot about you. You're even the way you write things. Donna's always telling jokes, and RGB is very encouraging. Jeremy's telling jokes. Brett has good ideas. I mean, I could go on and on and on. Carolyn is very encouraging. Karen says hi like all the time, even if she can't watch. Hi, it's Karen. I can't watch. Boop, she disappears. So there's a ton of you who I've gotten to know, and I really appreciate you guys. And I don't want to just add people for the sake of adding people. I want to add people that kind of get what we're doing here in our little group and want to be a part of what we're doing. So I think that's going to happen. So I really have a feeling that by probably springtime or summer, you guys are going to watch this thing groundswell, and we're going to be doing bigger things. We're going to be doing the same thing. There'll just be more people watching what we're doing. So I'm really excited about that. I'm really looking forward to. The first interview was amazing. The second interview I'm looking forward to because it's somebody that I know about. I almost feel like this person and I are in the same like box, like in a sporting event, a few like seats from each other, cheering for the same team, and like you see them over there every week, and you're like nod at them, they nod at you, but that's it. So I'm really looking forward to getting to know this person better and finding out kind of what makes them tick and what made them successful. I'm not revealing their name yet because I haven't done the interview yet, so we don't count our chickens before hatched. If count chicken before hatched, you end up in snow with no firewood, and it's very bad. So that's what we're gonna do. Brian, I hope that answers your question. There's a whole bunch of people that I want to talk to. So, Bobart says do a little research on their videos and some main talking points and questions. The interview doesn't get stagnant. Well, yeah, I have, and these are, like I said, these are people that I've gotten something out of. It's not just people. I'm not Googling, most subscribed to, homesteader channel or biggest gardening channel on YouTube, and then just reaching out going, hey, these are people that I've watched some of their videos. Obviously, some of them, my brother has 1,001 videos, so I've not seen all my brother's videos. It's incredible. But different people, for whatever reason, have made an impact on me personally, and I have either benefited from encouragement from their videos or how-to videos or whatever. I could list like 5 or 6 right off the top of my head, but I'm not going to because I want to reach out to them first and see who we can talk to. So this is going to be a huge new segment for us. I think it's going to be very popular. I hope you all like it. I hope you find value in it. Like anything that we're doing here, I hope the video brings value to your life in some way, whether it's wanting to be successful in homesteading, introducing you to maybe somebody new that you didn't know about. If you're trying to do YouTube, then maybe some information there. So we're going to timestamp it. Davis family says you can tell me, I can keep a secret. Like I said, they've already agreed to the interview. Number 2 interview's already lined up. I just haven't recorded it yet. I'm hoping to release one every 2 weeks. They're fairly long, and I have to arrange schedules with people, so it takes a little while. So the first one, like I said, should come out on Tuesday, and it is my brother, David the Good, for those of you that didn't know, which I think is none of you. But we're going to do a premiere together. We're working on that time, and then we will both be on at the same time. So if you have any questions while it's rolling, and I hope to do that with each person I interview, to have them be able to be on at the same time. So if there's a follow-up question that you might have, or something that I missed, or something they said that you found interesting that you want them to expound upon, you can ask in the chat, and we can roll together. So RGB, I didn't want to mention the Deep South Homestead. I haven't gotten to them yet, but they are on my list of people. I wanted to get 2 interviews down so that I could link something to people and say, hey, here's what we're doing. Here's the people I've interviewed. If you know these people or you like what we're doing, would you please be interested? And I think a lot of people will be, because anybody who tries to do YouTube is trying to promote what they're doing. They're trying to get their message out. Maybe you guys, not yet, but maybe you guys, once I'm ready. Oh, Carolyn, it's just going to be one. So like we'll host. Carolyn says very good. Now I need 2 devices so I can watch them both at the same time. What happens is I'm doing the interview. I'm going to upload it on my channel, but whoever it is I'm interviewing, I hope will come over to our channel and pop into the chat and talk at the same time. So you can. It's just going to be on the one channel. Sabrina says Danny and Wanda are awesome. Maybe. Oh, hey Trey. Trey says hello, Brian. New setup looks great. Thanks, buddy. See you later. So maybe once I get the first couple interviews out and I do reach out to Danny and Wanda, you guys could also send them messages saying, hey, we watch Flannel Farms and we like it. Brian's an okay dude. His hair is a little poofy, but he means well. And help us kind of let them know that there's an interest in this. And they are, man alive, they are some wise folks, and their knowledge base is incredible. I have like 8 videos of theirs saved in my watch to later that I've watched, that there's a project on my homestead that I want to do, and I've Googled it or YouTube searched it, and they have popped up a bunch of times. Septic is one of them specifically that I'm thinking of, and their hoop house is amazing. That I have. So when I get to that project, I'm like, okay, cool. I have Danny and Wanda's videos already queued. They're already saved. So when I go to build this thing, I can go back and watch it before I get started. So let me get these first couple interviews. Let me get the first one posted. Oh, cool. Carolyn says your brother doesn't live that far from Danny and Wanda from the Deep South Homestead. They probably have seen some of his videos. I know he has seen some of theirs. And to be perfectly honest, having a brother who's been doing this kind of thing for 10 years and has a good number of subscribers is very useful. But I don't want it to be just because of my brother. That only gets you so far. So we are trying to, networking is how you grow. Linda says, I'd suggest checking out Daniel Arms or Arms Family Homestead, retired Oklahoma Highway Patrol, and my fellow Benjamin Jason Smith at Cog Hill. Both super nice, helpful guys. Okay, so guys, do me a favor, because this chat's going to scroll by and I'm going to miss it, and I don't want to not be able to talk to you guys while we're doing this, because I have a lot more. We have a lot of ground to cover today. So if you would email me people that you like, I want time to go look at their videos, see if because like I said, I don't want to just interview just people who are successful at YouTubing. I want it to be kind of like our community. So send me an email at theflannelguys54@gmail.com. And if that's too much to remember, you can find it on our About page. So when you go to YouTube and you click over and you click on the person's channel, you can scroll over to where it says community and videos and things like that. There's an About. Our email's on there. Email me some names and some channels, and I will go check them out over the next few weeks. And like I said, I'm trying to make a list. I would love to have a video out every 2 weeks so that we could have one up. And I think it would be beneficial, like I said, I mean, there's a whole bunch of people like me who have left the city and are trying to make a go in the country, rural. There's people in the city who are trying to relearn canning, and one guy, man, I can't remember what his name is, but he sent me a video on drying herbs, and he was doing it like in his basement. He was drying his green vegetables in his basement. He made a whole video for me and sent it to me. I still have an email somewhere. It was amazing, and it was in the city. But there's a whole bunch of us trying to do these things, trying to relearn the old ways, who did not have experience in the old ways. And there's a bunch of us that are trying to use the medium of YouTube. So if you have one side, if you don't care about the YouTube side, watch the first half of it. And if you want to watch only the YouTube part, watch the second half. No big deal. Carolyn Smith says, I love Arms Family Homestead. Daniel quit his job as a highway patrolman because he made twice the money as a YouTuber and a Facebooker. Awesome. I don't plan on quitting my job. Even if we blew up and got big, I really, really like being a fireman. And I think I can YouTube, assuming there is still a YouTube and they still let people like me do this. And the world doesn't end and the EMP doesn't hit, and it's the end of the world as we know it. Copyright. My body does have a expiration date, so I can only do the fireman thing for so long. But I am really enjoying being a fireman. So that is our big announcement. I think, like I said, the channel is going to grow a whole bunch. I think it's going to grow quickly because I think we're going to find cool people, and cool people are going to find us and want to hang out, chat with us, see what we're doing, and be a part of what we're doing here. So, like I said, I hope that's as exciting to you guys as it is to me. And what we might end up doing is, after I do a few interviews, we will, we will potentially ask for interviews. So if interview questions. Forgive me, I did not quite finish that statement. So if I get someone to agree to an interview, for example, like Danny and Wanda, and you guys have questions for them, whether it's YouTubing or homesteading or whatever, before we do the interview, potentially, you could send them to me and I will go through them. I have a list of like 10 or 15 questions that I think pertain to what we're doing, but there might be, I obviously don't know everything. I haven't thought of all the questions. If there's questions you would like answered as well, send those to me. If you just have generic questions about YouTube, homesteading, gardening, whatever, you can send me those too and I'll compile a list. But if you have some specifically for the people we're talking to, let me know. Oh, what the heck. I'll tell you who we're going to interview next. Because how can you send me questions if you don't know who it's going to be, right? Do you really want to know who we're going to interview next? I told him I was going to hint at it. I wasn't actually going to say it because I'm supposed to like do this thing where it keeps you guys coming back for more and the cliffhanger and all that. But we are going to interview Scott Head next from Black Gumbo. He has a backyard garden kind of thing in Texas. He's an incredibly smart guy, very, very knowledgeable. His videos are unbelievable. And he has agreed to us being, us interviewing him. So he is going to do it. Yeah, David says, can you keep a secret? I ain't telling you nothing. I can't help it. I get so excited. I'm the worst with this. So I do the same thing at Christmas and birthdays. I just give somebody like their gift on like 4 weeks early. I'm like, here, open it. It's amazing. So Donna says, hi, what did I miss in the big announcement? The long and the short of it, Donna, is we are going to start an interview thing where we are going to interview people who are successful in some form of homesteading. So whether it's gardening, animal husbandry, the whole shebang. Somebody I haven't reached out to yet, but I'm sure you guys know, is Billy from Permapastures. I love that guy. I've only talked with him briefly once in an email, but I hope to get him on this thing as well. He is his knowledge base is incredible. So we're going to interview people about their homestead and their successful YouTube channel. So RGB says it would help to know the list of questions you already have set up. It would be helpful, but I'm not telling you. I've kind of I'm tailoring them a little bit here and there to the people that I'm interviewing. So we're gonna do that. But Kramer Life is another one. I like them a lot. Their search for a homestead, and they're just a neat couple. So the Land is another guy I would like to talk to. His editing is phenomenal. So there's all kinds of people. Christian from the Ice Age Farmer would be interesting. That's true. So if you're just joining us, and yes, Davis family says, I think I heard of Billy from Permapastures over on Sean's channel. So I found Billy, actually, I did a Google search on butchering pigs, and one of his videos popped up, and I found it to be incredibly helpful. So I would like to, so if like I said, if there's a list of people you would like me to interview, send me those guys' names, send me their channel in an email, please, and I will. I'm gonna make a list and start checking out some of those channels if I'm not already of them, checking them out, and then once I ask them to interview them, I'm gonna tell you guys about it, and you can go bomb their channel and say, hey, please let Brian interview. He's really funny looking. So our maple syrup. No, the ants ate it, honestly. But it only ran like one day, so I think the temperature's not quite right yet. But we had like 4 drops in the bucket, and then the ants came and ate it all. So, yeah. Oh my goodness, what else? What else? We've gained like 50 subscribers this week. That's super cool. If you're one of the new subscribers, welcome. We're super glad you're here. Now. No, it gets plenty cold enough. Jeremy says I was always curious because I didn't think it'd get cold enough here. No, it gets cold enough. The thing is, it actually has to be not that cold. It has to be, I forget what the exact temperatures are now, but it's something like just below freezing, but into the 50s during the day. So it has to get like cold enough so the sap stops running and then goes back down, and then warm enough that it starts running again. And that's why you do the sunny side of the tree, because that side heats up and the sap starts moving. So that's how that works. Warm days and cold nights, that's right. Man, this tea is good. This tea is so good. I should have made another one because we haven't even scratched the surface yet. We only got one thing out of my list. I have a list. I have made a list for you guys. Holy cow. Davis family says never had maple syrup. Like never like actual maple syrup? Man. Bobert says John Cooler at Growing Your Greens would be interesting. Like I said, send me an email. I am all about it. And if well, here's the cool thing. If it's somebody man, Davis family says not even the fake stuff. You need to get on that. Maple syrup is delicious. I'm excited to know who else you guys watch and go see some of their stuff. Because you guys are super cool. So if you are vouching, then I'm game. Let's talk. The Fit Farmer and his family would also be a great choice. Like I said, send me an email. Send me email. RGB, I know you send me emails. You'll send me all the emails. I love getting your emails. I feel so bad because my responses are like 3 sentences, because normally I'm in the middle of doing something, or it's just before bed, or I just woke up and I want to make sure I reply like right now. And you've sent me like a page of really well thought out things, and I'm like, thank you, I appreciate it. I'm sorry. I will try and do better about having longer emails. I'm more of a talker than a writer, so if that isn't obvious. So let's talk about my well. So I put in Davis family says never even seen it in stores here. We're in Jamaica, so interesting. We need to mail you some maple syrup. So I've got like 4 videos filmed currently. They're sitting in my camera. As you guys know, our internet here is trash. That's why we do it with the phone. And I also need to get a color filter. My brother was telling me about a color filter, but do these walls change colors for you guys when I move around or sip tea? Because on my phone they change colors. Because I guess my camera doesn't know what to do with it. Anyway, one of the videos I filmed is adding capacity to your well. Not more water, but more water under pressure. So they make pressurized tanks. And Jeremy says my fingernails are crazy dirty. I meant to bring that up too. Look at these. So you're getting me off topic. Doggone it. I bought barrels, 55-gallon drums for the well. So let's go to the well then. We'll talk about the well, then we'll get back to the greenhouse. Let's talk about the greenhouse. We'll get back to the well. As you guys know, the greenhouse needs some sort of thermal regulation in it. And I'm trying to do it without power and all those things. My brother recommended 55-gallon drums full of water, and the water is absorbed during the heat is absorbed during the day by the water, and then it lets it out at night, so it keeps it more of a stable temperature. And as the barrel cools, when the sun comes up and starts to warm everything up, the barrels keep it cooler. So it's a thermal regulation. It keeps the heat and whatever from fluctuating. The 55-gallon drums that I got used to have mulch dye in them. And so when I took my shower this evening, I mean, my thumb is like, my palms are just, everything is trashed. Which is good, because that means I've been working, doggone it. I used a green scrubby, like on the backside of a sponge, and Gojo. And this is what I'm left with. So for those of you who are horrified at my personal hygiene, I smell nice. So, I guess the greenhouse ties into the well, because we got these barrels and I went to go fill them up, and my water pressure was trash. So the well guy said you can add a pressure tank to it, and what will happen is you will add more pressurized water, so you get more work done. Hey, Celtic Roots Farm, greeting from New Hampshire. I hope you're doing well. We are doing great. I recommend you go back and catch the beginning of our live stream. There's a big announcement. But anyways, I'm sure you'll catch up later. No big deal. So I went to go fill up my barrels, and my well just went, and I was getting terrible pressure, so I added this 52-gallon pressurized tank. And the way it works with pressurized tanks is the whole thing is not water. It has a bladder in it, so as you fill up the water, the bladder pushes down, and the pump feeds the tanks, and you get your water from the tank. So I was hoping to have like 30 gallons of pressurized water. And my plan was to go out to the field where we, 55-gallon drums for the pigs, 55-gallon drums for the chickens, and then fill it up about halfway, let it sit so that it could build up the pressure again. So fill it up halfway, takes 5-10 minutes, let it sit for an hour, pressure build up, go back out, fill the rest of the barrel. And I was just getting trash water pressure. It was about the same. And so I called the well guy back out. I was like, dude, and he's already recommended the deep well. And I said, I put this other tank in, which you said should give me more water. And basically, the long and the short of it is I have a 2-inch shallow well, and we were getting trash out of it. The pump is fine. We thought about trying to upgrade to a 3/4 horse pump, but I just don't have that much water here at 60 feet is really what it boils down to. So even the 1/2 horse pump is sucking my 2-inch well dry. So we are going to go ahead and pull the trigger and get I think it's a 4-inch deep well put in. And we're going to put in either a 3/4 or a full horsepower pump. Yep, Carolyn, we need a deep well. That's what we're going to do. And we will have more water than we will know what to do with. We will still have one pressure tank, but he basically said we won't need it. We'll produce somewhere between 50 and 20 gallons a minute from the pump continuously all the time, no matter what. Donna says, I was always told not to come in until my hands were dirty, to include fingernails, because I would be sent back out to finish my chores, feeding the pigs and helping have rat the vegetables. Yep. Yeah, I actually like it. I'm sore and my hands are dirty. Well, not dirty. I mean, they're stained, really. Like I said, I scrubbed it. But anyways, all that to say, we're calling. So here, we have to get the health department to come out. I'm not sure if it's this way all over the place, but we have to call the health department. They're going to come out and tell us where we can put the new well in, and then he's going to come drill the well. He says in May, but he's a local guy, and he's not far from me. Jeremy says, do they not drill 36-inch wells anymore? So he might do it a little quicker for us, but really what he said is there's no way we're going to be able to do what we want to do here with the well that we have. So we're going to pull the trigger on a deep well, which is kind of painful because I already have water to the house. Like if I go turn the faucet on, I have plenty of pressure. I can take a shower, no problem. She can do dishes and everything else. We can't run like the dishwasher and take a shower at the same time, but that's okay. I mean, the things I'm sure a lot of you have worked around, right? Because the alternative was expensive. Is the list is almost, I'm sure it's very, very long. Made do with busted tools or old pots or whatever. You just make do. So it feels really weird to spend $12,000 on a well when I have water at the sink. But I'm only going to need more water as the homestead grows. So we have 100 chickens on the property for the first time ever. We have 5 pigs that are getting bigger. They drink a boatload of water. We're going to have cows, which are going to take a boatload of water. Steve Solomon has written a book about gardening without irrigation. We have plenty of space here to be able to plant the way he recommends. I haven't read the book yet, so please don't ask me any details. But I plan on getting it and reading it so I don't have to irrigate my crops so much. But it doesn't change the fact that animals are going to need water. We need water. We have a cabin in the back the pipes have exploded on because they froze, and it's going to need water. I want water to the barn, so when we're processing chickens, I'm not running hoses everywhere. I want actual sinks out there. All this stuff takes more water. So we're going to get more water. Like I said, he said May. I'm hoping sooner, but he basically said since we're out of water, essentially, that he might be able to fit us in, coming over on the nights and weekends and stuff like that. Seems like a super cool guy. If any of you are in this area of Virginia, coastal Virginia, let me know, and I'll send you his information. But he's a super cool dude. He spent like 2 hours here fiddling with it, trying to dial it in, and he didn't charge me. He tried not to charge me last time, and I paid him last time. So we just a good dude that's going to take care of us. But $12,000 is $12,000. It's never a nice thing to have to pay, but we're upgrading the infrastructure. So that's our well, and that's kind of the greenhouse. The greenhouse is getting done. We took Hank the Tank, our tractor, named as by you, out, and we were able to clear a whole bunch of garden area behind, in that fenced-in area you've seen with the little gardening shed. We cleared out a whole bunch of mess in there. There were raspberries, black raspberries in there that we trimmed up. There's a vine back there that we found. We found a trellis back there with thick cable on it. So we're really excited about that garden. And so Hank was instrumental in clearing our gardens. So we were very excited. Jeremy says maybe dig a retaining pond somewhere and you can draw water for animals and crops. We've talked about that, Jeremy, when we get the field bigger, potentially finding the shallow point. So Davis family says $12,000 is like over $1 million to our money. It's 150 something Jamaican to $1 US. Holy cow! Yeah, that's a lot. We are going to work on some water retention potentially with the egg tractor that we've built, the Eggmobile, and have some gutters on there to run over to the chicken watering. But we're going to put the well in. We're going to put basically the biggest pump that we can in there, and then I'm going to rent a ditch witch, and I'm going to bury PVC like 2 feet down all the way out into the field, and then I'm going to put frost-proof hose bibs on it, and I'm going to build a little shack over it out in the field, and I'm going to put the hoses in there so they don't freeze over the winter. Do you intend on getting exclusively cows or goats and sheep? I ask because goats and sheep are far better for small acreage. So the thing is, I don't really like goats and sheep. I mean, they're fun to watch and they're kind of fun to have, but I don't really like what they produce. So, our plan is kind of the currently is chickens, pigs, cows. We're only going to have 2 cows, and we plan on moving them around the property. So you're right, goats and sheep are better for small acreage. But we have enough land to have 2 cows quite comfortably currently. We have, 2 acres of field for them at this very moment. And I bought the tractor, Hank, to clear probably 2.5 more. And then we're going to rotate the cows, chickens, and pigs around each other. Less than 21 days in any given location, so that it keeps the pests under control and that parasites do not have a chance to develop and mature in any number that would cause harm to the barnyard animals. I am interested in turkeys also. Davis Family Life says, if you eat my curried goats, you'll want to raise goats. I guarantee. I hear you. I hear you. Carolyn Smith says, cows he can get beef from. He doesn't eat goat or lamb or goat's milk, so they'd be a waste. I mean, they have their purpose, but I'm not going to shear them or do any of that stuff. So I would eat and drink goat milk and, eat sheep and stuff if I was before fish. Let me put it that way. But I really like cow. Eventually, I want a milk cow, a dairy cow, but that's in the future. So we moved. Hey, Linda. Sir Flannel is here. Yes. Sir Flannel, the masterpiece family. Dave says I'd rather eat rocks than eat fish. Yuck. Yep, I'm with you. We built a. So I have a video coming out, but we've moved our chickens. So the egg mobile got moved over to the field where we planted, and it's around part of the driveway trees. And then I built a small coop that's very, very portable for the Delawares that are our meat chickens that we are keeping separate from our barnyard egg flock. And we ordered a smaller Premier netting. It's only 88 feet instead of their usual, I think it's 162 is what their standard size is. Well, not standard, but their long size. And we have the Delawares out of the small chicken tractors. So they're now in a big open area and they have a little coop. So we've got them moved. Everybody's out of the little chicken tractors with the coop and run and everything else. The Joel Salatin design for those of you that are privy. Celtic Roots Farm says Joe Salatin did a talk on the importance of water for your property. Those looking for property, try and find a pond that is located higher than the area when you can actually need it. Yes. Yeah, if, I mean, what's his name? There's a congressman out of Kentucky. Matt, I can't think of his name. He had a documentary on, all right, Brett says, switching to listening mode to get a bite to eat. We will attempt. Actually, we'll switch to announcer voice. Brett is going to get something to eat. Massey, that's right, Wendy. Massey. He is an amazing dude, but he has like a huge pump, or I mean, a huge well. Gosh, the words in my mouth are wrong. He has a pond higher, and he ran like 4-inch plastic pipe down, and he gets like 88, feet per second or something. So that's amazing, but I'm on very, very flat land. So, but Joel also recommends don't scrimp on the water. So, and that's kind of what we were trying to do. He says don't haul water, and I was literally filling buckets down by the well and like carting them out to the field. You have to do what you have to do in survival situations. We are not in a survival situation. We do have the means and resources to be able to upgrade our pump and get a deep well without going into debt. So we're going to do it and save ourselves a whole bunch of headache. Celtic Root says something to think about for your greenhouse. Only heat the area you'll actually need. Close off the rest with plastic. That's a good idea. I'm not sure how much space we need yet, so we'll figure it out. Yeah, Bobert says, if you plan to plant pasture land, look into edible weeds to help with your cow's diet and help with their health by giving them more nutrient-dense plants to graze on. Yep, we are looking at planting. So there's different seasons and sizes and plants, obviously, that you can plant, but cows need like higher protein stuff when they're growing, and then when they get to a certain size, they need less of a protein dense and more starch and less calories. And there's all these formulas that go into it on what you have them grazing on and where. So we're hoping to have a permanent pasture by planting the right things kind of in rotation, and after a few years it should kind of take over and take care of itself. 22 of you, by the way, have given us a thumbs up already. I really appreciate it. If you haven't had the opportunity to click that little button, that would be great. Because when like 50 of you click on it, then all the people that didn't watch it go, man, this one got a lot of thumbs up. I wonder what they want. So Carolyn says bison at Jeremy, because Jeremy said we should get a bison, and Carolyn said they're too big to deal with for a newbie. You got that right. So yeah, we're hoping to. We also need to add ventilation to the greenhouse, but I'm trying to find some windows, reclaimed windows that are fairly inexpensive that I can toss up in there, so we can open it when we need to. And we plan on opening it up near the peak because you guys know we did a pretty steep, hipped roof, so all of the majority of the heat rises. So if you put the vents up at the top, you will evacuate the heat much quicker. Because of whatever height your vents are, it's not going to flow out. That's why on roofs they put ridge vent. So we're going to do that soon. Jeremy says after the new well is up and running, I wonder if you could put an old wind pump to pump the water out of the old well into a pond or something for storage when they shut the power off. We do want to have the pump on our backup system. Although a windmill type thing would be pretty cool. And we do have a little pond in our backyard that was dug by them, that we would like to use for storage. But the problem is our field is 800 feet away, give or take, from our pond. But I do have Hank now, and we can dig a pond. So it might be something we do. We might do some rain capture stuff to fill the pond and things like that. And I think I've told you guys before, but if I haven't, like 1,300 feet behind my house, or behind my property line, excuse me, not my house, the property line, they have, there is a creek. And it's not my creek, but I think I would use it in a survival situation. Hello, Koi. The goldfish man is here. Well, carp, I guess technically is a koi, but goldfish are a type of carp. So if I had to go down there and haul water back up, I could. And I don't think anybody would care because it's in the middle of the woods. So we do sort of have access to water. Eventually, I would like to buy that property behind me so that I could have that access. But like, you'll forgive me, I don't remember who said, but having the water higher than what you're using is much better. But this is down lower, so we don't have that option. Let me rotate this a little bit. It's bumping my chest, and I don't like it. I feel very limited. Sorry for all the squeakies. I need a mute button, like a cough button or something. Boop. There we go. Oh, that's better. So eventually I would like to have some sort of retention pond in the front area, and even just a hand pump to move things around. So well, I don't have a pond on my property. I have to make a pond. Bobert says, run a pipe from the creek to the pond. And that's the problem. The creek is extremely flat, so it isn't even above. I have almost no variation in topography. So it would have to be pumped up from the well, or from the creek to whatever retention area we build, if we build it. So the other option, actually, if we buy down to the creek, would be to clear down there and put the animals down there. But then we're really far away from the house. So there's, as with everything in life, there is a lot of things. Davis family says, do you have a problem with thieves on your property? A man recently lost 30 of his cows that way. No, we don't. It's been amazing up here. I have two neighbors, one whose house I can see, and then one who I can't see, but I know they're over there, and then everything else around me is farmland. So, and the people in both my neighbors are related to each other, and the guy that owns all the farmland is like their grandfather. So yeah, it's a super cool little region we're in. So I have had equipment out in my fields and stuff that has been left alone. Now, of course, if society collapses and we turn into The Walking Dead and Armageddon and all that stuff, I would move all my animals up around the house. So it's yeah, but no, it's an amazing neighborhood. So Jeremy Visa's Green Acres water tower. So that is another option. Actually, Jeremy is well, not another option. Something we're considering is putting like a 2,000 gallon tank up on stilts. But the problem is you have to be able to pump to that thing to get it to be usable, right? So you still need electricity of sorts and things like that. But we could, in theory, if everything was going to poop in a handbasket, pump from our well up into our holding tank, and then we know we would have 2,000 gallons up there. So it's an option. Celtic Root says, we bought automated vent openers that were pretty expensive. They actually open the vents by set temperature. Opening and closing them manually can potentially run into issues. That's true. But Celtic, the question I have is, are those plug-in? Are they just temperature regulated without electricity? Because I need something without electric. So if those work without electricity, please send me the link to where you got those, because that would be phenomenal. I'm pretty sure they make some vents like that for like under your house or your crawl spaces that are purely temperature. But Carolyn says the issue with the creek is other people will be using it in an emergency situation. Someone also may dam the creek up and redirect the water for themselves. Don't depend on a creek. Yep. But we have a very low population density here, so I don't think we're going to have as many issues. But Yep. No electricity. I'll get the name link. Thank you very much, Celtic Roots. That's amazing. Did you hear that, honey? Celtic Roots Farm. They have a greenhouse and they have temperature controlled vents with no electric.
And we have information now.
They are going to send us information.
Excellent.
That's exciting. Isn't it crazy? Isn't it crazy the things you get excited about? When you become older and you're no longer excited by adventure or going out with friends, what really makes you happy is thermal regulation of a greenhouse without electricity. Delightful. I'm so excited. Yeah, Davis Family Life says the zombies are coming, right? I think the zombies are already here. Have you been to a big box store lately? I mean, come on. Davis says we used to raise cows, but had to give them up when the property sold. Ugh, that's tough. Coy says I'm fairly convinced we're already on the road to stuff, at least in the early stages of it. Yeah, I mean, there's a book called The Road to Serfdom, which tells you all about what you're going through. I haven't read it, my wife did, so someday I'll get her to come talk about it. She's laughing at me in the kitchen. As I've told you, that my wife is the reader and researcher. I've got a cramp. I laughed so hard I gave myself a cramp. Doggone it. On live TV, I got a cramp. We've done a lot of work in the past 3 days, and my old body's old. So she's the one that knows about all the plants. She's the one that knows about when to plant, what to plant, how much to plant, who to plant, what to plant, why to plant. And I'm like, I'm gonna put seeds in the ground. So I'm trying to get her to come on a live stream with me. So that way I can ask her all those questions. Like, what are we planting? Why are we doing it? Where's it going? She's had a and then you guys could ask questions as well, because some of you asked me questions and I honestly don't know the answer, because she's my encyclopedia for what we're doing. And yeah, Davis Family says 2 of us don't need to read the same thing. I say I'll read it and tell you about it. That's right. And if we read the same thing, there'd be nothing to talk about, because we would both know the exact same thing all the time. That's no fun. I'm gonna raise this up a little bit. I apologize for any nausea this might cause by playing with the doodad, but I realized I was kind of low in the camera. So I'm hoping next week, maybe, if I'm very kind to her, that she will come chat with us on a live stream. I don't know. Bobert says, sitting on my front porch and my yard smells like coffee. I get 5-gallon bucket every 2 days. Cool. Davis says, I caught myself telling my daughter something my mom always said to me. Man, I'm old. It happens. And then I think what happens is, the older you get, you realize your parents were more wiser and smarter than you had maybe originally given them credit for. So yes, we have, speaking of all the work we did this week, and the past 4 days, it's been gorgeous here. The high today was like 68 or 69. Yesterday, I think it was 65. The day before that was 63. So we spent a ton of time outside. So some upcoming videos I have for you guys as we get toward the end of our live stream. So if you have any questions that you have yet to ask, please ask now. We have a video on a new design for us chicken coop. Again, not a run, just a coop. We have 10 Delawares, and we wanted to give them their own space. We did a video on that. We did a video on adding the tank to our well, even though it didn't solve our problem. The video is still legit. How to do it is how to do it, but it just didn't fix our problem. We have the interview coming up, and we have one of the work with me videos, the Flannel Farms fillers, where we clear out the fenced in garden area. When Davis Family says gotta run, take care everybody. Thank you for being here, Davis. We'll see you next week, and I look forward to your comments in the videos coming up. This area was already fenced in, and when we first moved to it and the first look at the homestead, it's the area where you could barely see that gardening shed. So that's the area that we've gotten so cleared now, and we've underbrushed and we actually tore out a bunch of soil that was like, I don't know if I want to use the word contaminated, but it had like shredded plastic bags, and I think they were using styrofoam for like a raised garden bed or compost. I can't really tell. So we pushed a whole bunch of that stuff out of the way. Charlie's Greenhouse and Garden website, I believe, was the Ventomax automatic vent opener. Did you hear that, honey? Write this down. Ye old pencil and paper. Charlie's Greenhouse and Garden. Do you remember how much they were roughly? Not that money's no issue. Oh, lovey, lovey. Ventomax. I mean, we're just gonna spend our life savings on a well. Why not buy some super cool vents? Jeremy says, I emailed you a pic of my grandma's pressure tanks in their farm in California. I think it's about 1,000 gallons. That's amazing. Yeah, the Work With Me one, when we did the first look at the homestead, we cleared all of that area. There's a ton of Rosa Sharon in there that we trimmed up. There was a ton of black raspberry that we've trimmed, and we got rid of a lot of that trash in there. So Rip says, hello. Rip, you're late, man. What the heck? And this has been one of our most amazingest and excitingest live streams ever. For those of you that did join late, please go watch the first 5 or 10 minutes, if nothing else. We explain a lot of what's going on and what's coming up. And the new segment, the new big announcement, is in the beginning of this episode. So, I'm off tomorrow. We have church in the morning. And then there's some big thing going on in the evening that we're not going to pay any attention to because we don't care. And then Monday I'm back at work. So look for a video on Monday to drop. And then Tuesday the interview will be dropping. Ooh, Rip says, sorry, I've been working on a milking area for our new cow. Man. I'm not supposed to covet your cow, Rip. Doggone it. But that's awesome. That is a really good reason to be late. The other night, actually, I think it was about 7:30. And for those of you that might be surprised to hear this by how delightfully dark my hair still is, I am an old man. And I tend to sit and in a chair or whatever, and by 8 o'clock, 8:30, it is nothing for me to fall asleep. Good night, Wendy. And the other day at 7:30, after dinner, I was like, man, we should go move the chickens. So, because they were all up in the eggmobile. So we went and blocked off the chickens in the eggmobile, took down all the Premier One fencing, got Lucy, working by headlamp, and we moved the birds and set up the new net and everything else. Mostly because I didn't want to get up at like 5:30 in the morning to do that the next day and let them out. And I did not want them all cooped up in there. So, oh man, it took that long. There's our first Spamarondax. What you do today? Oh wait, no, that's not the right button. That's the right button. Thank you for joining us, Russia. Sorry about the Ukraine. Oops. I think I put him in timeout. I was trying to get removed. There we go. Remove. There we go. All right, so look for a new video, like I said, Monday. I'm not sure what time on Monday. It depends on how work goes. And I'm still working out the time with my brother as to when we're going to do the premiere of that interview. But as soon as I know, we'll put a community post up because we're going to obviously want to promote it. So Jeremy says, pigs getting bigger? They are getting massive, man. They got big old haunches. Oh, that's right. I forgot, man. You never know what's going to happen. So those of you that left early, shame on you. I have another pig butchering conference. That guy, Paul, very nice man. If you'll recall, I got COVID the last time I was supposed to go to this pig harvesting, butchering conference, workshop thing. And Leah, hey, you're late. There's big news, Leah, so make sure you watch the beginning. Super big news. Biggest news in the world. It might be the biggest news of our channel because I think we're going to grow a lot from it. But that's all I'm gonna say because we already talked about it. RGB says my YouTube notifications always arrive late. For those of you that are interested in being on our email list, I'm going to put together a list of people. I'm already doing it now with a few, where I email them what time we're going to be doing our live stream because I know some people's notifications get messed up. So if you're one of those people who would like to be on the list, shoot me an email so I have yours, and then we will have a nice little group email going back and forth. No, Celtic, I got it. Thank you. You said it was Charlie's Greenhouse and Garden and Vertomatic automatic thermo control thingy. I did write it down in my chicken scratch. I really appreciate it. So Paul has another pig harvesting workshop this coming weekend. So Saturday I'm going for the shocking, sticking, eviscerating, scraping, and all that stuff. And the next day is the butchering, the primal cuts, and it breaks all that stuff down. So before I do my own pig, which I've never done before, I've never done a pig at all with anybody ever. I've only watched some videos. Billy from Permapastures, like I said, has a great video. Everybody go comment on his pig video that Brian from Flannel Farm says it's a really good video. So he's going to go through this whole thing with me, show me how to do it. And so that way we are able to do our own here. I know we have some more butchering type equipment that we need to get, like a plastic bag for my sawzall. But no, I'm going to see the way Paul does it. Like I said, I've watched a few videos, but really having the hands on. And we're hoping that scraping, they scald and scrape. He scalds and scrapes the pigs. So we'll figure that out. I'm hoping to have a special guest come help me do the pigs. We're still working on that time because they're not big enough to harvest yet. But I think in a couple months, maybe. What do you think, Mrs. Flannel Farms? 2 months? The pigs? May time frame, give or take. So, Celtic Roots says we just processed our 2 pigs, 354 and 312 pounds. Now, is that finished weight, or was that like pre-butcher? So that's just what the entire carcass weighed. I'm still learning terms. Or was that the cleaned carcass and all the meat that was left? Rip says, awesome, that class will be so helpful. I wish I would have gotten to take a class before we did ours. So yeah, on the hoof. That's a good term. Yeah, I'm really excited. We obviously jumped in before we knew what we were doing, and having not done it before. But I have, like I said, I watched a bunch of videos. I ain't scared. So I know I'm going to make mistakes, even if I go to the most expertiest, classiest ever by the most teacherist person ever. So, that was live weight. Cool. Who do you think is going to help, Celtic? I'll give you 3 guesses. No, the first 2 don't count. So, yeah, I'm excited to go have someone who knows more than me teach me. Let me get my hands on it, figure it, and learn it, and then they can show. Carolyn says, can't remember. Did you castrate pigs already? It's better when they're younger. Well, we did. Yeah, that was, I think, the first week we had him. My buddy, my feed farmer man, who also helped us fix Hank, came over and showed us how to castrate pigs. So again, hands-on, helpful. Community is what it's all about. So having someone you can go learn from is just clutch, as the kids say. They probably don't say it. They probably haven't said it in years.
I haven't been a kid since the last millennia.
I think my daughter's in the kitchen shaking her head at me. Is she?
Is one of them whippersnappers making fun of me? Dadgummit.
No, her eyes lie. Lying eyes. Rip says, we miss having pigs around there. Such a great part of the homestead. We're looking for feeder pigs now. Cool. Yeah, man, they are so much fun. We just sit sometimes. We take chairs out there and watch them and just hang out and watch them be goofy. And they run through the woods, and I didn't know that like pigs scampered, but Apparently they do. Oh man, my tea's gone. Sad. Carolyn says, yep, you don't want the male hormone taste in the meat. Yeah, boys are gross. Well, my friends, I believe it is that time. Once again, to call it an evening. I was looking forward to this all day, man, when we realized it was Saturday and we could go ahead and do a live stream. So, got all excited. So, I appreciate you guys spending some time with me and being here for our big announcement that we announced earlier that you have to go back and listen to for the announcement that announced. But you guys are an encouragement to me. I enjoy spending time with you. I mean, shoot, we got greenhouse vents out of this chat. So 265 and 225 were the hanging weights. Holy cow. That's a lot of meat. That's a whole lot of meat. I gotta get some more freezers. What type of pig did you have, Celtic Roots Farm? And I'll continue to say goodbye while I wait for you to answer. Ours are kind of a barnyard mix of pigs. The guy said they were some of this and some of that, but
Yorkshire.
he said Yorkshire, Berkshire, Hereford, and Duroc, he said, but yeah, those are the Idaho pasture pigs. Okay. Cool. I don't know if we're going to let ours get that big. I'm having a hard time getting them to get all 4 feet on our little bathroom scale, so I don't really know how big they are. And I am strong for my thighs, but when I tried to pick them up and stand on the scale like you do with a little kid, that didn't work either. So that was 10 months, not by choice. Okay, all right. Yeah, ours were about 8 weeks old, I think, when we got them. And that was, is that 3 months now? November?
Yeah, we got them in November.
Yep, so they're about 5 months old now. So I think actually we'll probably end up doing them a little smaller than bigger because it's our first time. So learning how to do it and go through it and things like that would probably be easier with a slightly smaller pig than trying to do, get the maximum or perfect yield or whatever. So we got to start somewhere. So, oh my goodness. All right, guys. Well, like I said, thank you very much for being here. Last year we did 8 months. How big were they at 8 months? See, you keep having good stuff for me, Celtic. You're killing me. I keep trying to sign off, but you keep having things I want to know. I think we're aiming to butcher at around 250 to 275 on the hoof weight. So, RGB emailed me the list. Thank you, RGB. For those of you that are just joining us, shame on you, you're late. I can't talk all night. Well, I probably could. But watch the beginning, please. I do have some things that I could get from you. So there's an interactive part for you to play in this live stream, even after the live stream is over. So go back, watch the email, and watch the email. Thanks. My producer back there is correcting me. Mrs. Swannell Farms. So, but watch and send me emails. That's what it is. So, Celtic says, sorry, can't recall off the top of my head. No problem. Just curious. Jeremy says a cheap above ground pool would be good for water retention. We do have a cheap above ground pool. We just haven't put it together yet. But my pump is so bad it won't ever fill it. So, anyhow, guys, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I look forward to reading your emails about that thing that we talked about earlier that I'm not going to talk about again. So, you guys have a great night, and we will talk again soon. I look forward to reading your comments on the videos coming up this week as it snows tomorrow and our lovely weather is over. But good night, guys.